All right, boys, we're here.
Are you two ready?
Yes, sir.
Alright,
All right, let's go. That's all we need. Okay.
Give us the money.
What? There's no money here.
This is a bank.
Give us the money. We're gonna take the
It's
girl.
Indigo.
It's Indigo. Why is it Indigo?
Come over here.
An
No,
Indigo
there's
bank?
no money here. This is not a money bank.
No, there's no money.
No.
Okay, end it. Alright, so what do you have then?
Okay, listen. Okay, we give out loans of Indican and Indigo, right? Indigo is much more valuable than Indican. Okay, so if you're gonna steal from here, steal Indigo. Okay?
Alright, where's the Indigo?
Indigo is just
Where is it?
where is it? I can show you. Can I grab the key? Can I open this box?
Open it.
Open it? Okay. There it is.
Alright, end it. Is this good, boys? Are we stealing this?
Looks pretty good to me.
Here, hold this. Is this good?
I think this is good. Yeah.
Here, I'll take that back for a second. Thank you. Alright, and then we give over. Alright, so what's the chemical properties of indigo then?
Oh, well, indigo is a dark blue crystalline powder that is insoluble in water and alcohol, but it is soluble in DMSO, chloroform, nitrobenzene, and concentrated sulfuric acid. The chemical formula of indigo is C16H10N2 and O2.
That is amazing.
Wow.
Stop recording.
So why is indigo so expensive?
Indigo is more expensive because it basically has indican in it, just with an extra compound.
All right, thanks.
But what can I use indigo for?
Indigo is generally used for coloring of cotton yarn that is used for production of denim cloth for blue jean shirts and hoodies.
Awesome.
Thanks. I did great.
Come get it. Go ahead. All right, so real quick, how is this used and what is it used for?
Do you want me to show you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, back in the day, this is what they used to do. They used to get a cloth, right? And they used to spread it out. This process usually takes about 30 minutes to an hour, hour and a half, right? And then, so you take this, open it, you're gonna put it on here, right?
I guess so. I don't know. You're doing it, not me.
Yeah. You take your sleeves and you just start doing this. You wanna try it yourself?
Nah, I'm good.
Sure. You wanna try?
Wow, I can see it turning blue. So
Yeah.
this process takes an hour to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's very interesting, bud.
Wow. Alright.
All right, but what other ways did they use dye back in the ancient days?
I can show you. Do you want me to?
Yep. Go
Follow
ahead.
me. Come on.
So why are we going into the woods?
Because they use this thing called mud.
So why are we getting mud?
To use it, because the mud has minerals in it that we used to use our dye back in the day.
So you can dye clothing with mud?
Basically, yeah.
What else can you dye it with?
Other minerals in the ground, basically.
Oh, alright, so you can basically use anything as dye?
Yeah. So,
Wow.
if you come here, move all the leaves out the way, you can use this mud here and get it on the cloth. And this process usually takes a while, a long time, more like 2 hours to do. But yeah, you just start spreading it out, get it on the towel, and it's basically how we do it back in the days.
Wow. So you can make any type of cotton or clothing into brown material just from going outside?
Yep, basically.
Wow, that is easy.
Pretty easy.
Oh, so this is just like other places. You know, in Canada, there's an island called Prince Edward Island where one of the local things of culture is to dye clothing using dirt because the dirt at the island there is very rich in iron, which is very useful in staining things, including clothes.
Yes, exactly.
Turns
That's
them red.
Yep, exactly how they do
Wow.
it.
Alright, so I know you have documents on these types of dyes. Can you show me where it is?
I don't have any documents.
That's a lie.
There's none in there. I have none.
So you don't have any documents?
No, sir.
Alright, well let's check that table really quick. What is that? Get down. Get on your knees. Alright. See what this is. The legacy of dyes. The dye trade today mainly consists of chemically synthesized artificial dyes, tracing back to many years. The practice of this would lead to other fields of studies, creating antibiotics, perfumes, paints, inks, pesticides, plastics, and even explosives. In the past, countries like Germany, Switzerland were major players in the manufacturing of these dyes, and to a lesser extent, synthetic organic chemicals. During the 1860s, amidst all of these, the chemical company BASF, Bayerische Aniln und Soda Fabrik, was founded, which still exists today. Bayer was...
Hey D, come switch with me real quick.
Alright, man.
You stay there. What other documents you got here? You best not be lying to me. Throughout the history, the colors produced by dyes have carried various meanings in society in the past. Many carrying a special status due to their relativity, rarity, or commonness. Certain shades of blue and purple were considered very rare and hard to obtain. Use of this dyes was typically reserved for those of royal blood and societies like ancient Egypt and kingdoms during the Middle Ages. They'd also go to the construction of important sites, such as temples, cathedrals, religion playing an important roles in the past. That's nice. Alright, stop it. Hey, yo, Ella, come switch with me real quick. Stay down there.
See what documents we got. Rare dyes. Throughout history, rare and ridiculous things were used to create dyes, doing anything from extracting resin from Egyptian mummy wrappings in their ground-up mummified pets, known as mummy brown, to crushed up, hard-to-find sea snails turned into royal purple. The center in Massachusetts, known as the Strass Center for Conservation and Preservation, houses over 3,600 samples of rare dyes in the Forbes Pigment Collection, including dyes that were historically popular but now rare to find, including ones with highly toxic and deadly chemicals in them, such as cadmium yellow, which was found in yellow Lego bricks until the 1970s. One of the dyes it holds is emerald green, which is so toxic its fumes could easily kill you, yet this is popular in house paint and paintings in the past, simply because it was cheap. The Strass Center also performs procedures such as Raman spectroscopy, mass spectroscopy, gas chromatography, and electron microscopy in order to determine the chemical structure of rare dyes without ever opening their containers in order to preserve them. These structures can then be compared to the ones present in valuable paintings that sell to determine if they're real or fake. Well, that's some real useful information you got there. Maybe it'll come in useful later. Hey, I can't get into this. Come and give me access to it.
You sure you want it?
Yeah, you idiot. I'm robbing this place. Don't question me or I'll shoot you.
Okay.
Hey guys, come back here. I found some really good information.
All
This
right.
could be really useful.
Hey manager, can you read this?
So synthetic dyes. In the late 1700s, there was a new era for dyes because synthetic dyes were invented and they took over the practices of artists during the time. The first major man-made dyes were used in World War I, though. It was called picric acid and it created a strong yellow hue. But some of the drawbacks of these manufactured dyes were they were hard to obtain and they did not last well in the sun. Synthetic indigo was made in 1880, which is good because this dye and other man-made dyes were brighter and clearer. In 1856, William Henry Perkin was an 18-year-old genius that had already found his way into the artificial dye industry. He was a student at London's Royal College of Chemistry, and he was set to prove his father wrong. So his father was a hard-working builder, but gave up on chemistry because he thought that it would not pay enough for a strong financial future. Perkin tried to synthesize dyes in a tiny lab he set up in his house, and believed he could synthesize a substance called quinine from coal tar. This substance was useful to treat malaria, but none of Perkins' experiments worked. Yet in the process of these experiments, he did accidentally produce a dark substance that gave a deep purple tint. He tried putting this in silken fabric, and it stuck and never wore off, and thus artificial dye was invented. We got everything we wanted. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Hey, grab the computer. Hey, you're coming with us. You're driving.
Take this.
All right,
Let's go.
give me the yard.
No.
Give me your house. I'll shoot you.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. Go.
Go.
Hey Siri, call 911.